Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Pele Yoetz. Good news. No, that's today's topic. We're talking about good tidings, something I think we all welcome wholeheartedly. Today's day and age, I think that the ratio of good to bad news for many of us is very much disproportionate. I think even if news is not directly about you, if it's negative report, I think it does tend to really affect us in a negative way. And I think sometimes even ourselves, we don't realize the impact or the ramifications of the words we're saying or in the way we're saying something. And I hope that we can all take a moment to really reflect on this. And it's something that I think takes practice. I think especially it's so easy to get into this negative frame of mind and continue that course. But we're going to see what the Rav has to say about it. And it states, if a person knows a good tiding related to his friends, he should quickly inform him and give him new life to his soul. It will be considered a mitzvah, especially if the recipient of his message is a righteous man. Anyone who enlivens his spirit will be recompensed with long life. This is evidenced by Derech bat Asher. She gave Yaakov the good news that Yosef was still alive, and she merited to enter Gan Eden while still alive. And that's cited in Targum Yonatan Bereshit 46:17 and derech Eretz Zuta Perek 1. What a zechus that was, right? Because not many, we don't know of many that have had such a zechus to be able to go into Gan Eden alive. So it says, this delivering of good news is included in the mitzvah of kindness, just as our sages said in regard to charity in Baba Metzia 71a. Your poor relatives take precedence. So too in regards to acts of kindness. Again, I'm going to go back to that, what we said about our words having an impact on someone. And I don't know why, but I think that we are so reticent to run out and give a bad report. Whatever it is, it almost seems like it's salacious. It's, it's very, if you really took a step back and evaluated our motive behind, it almost seems like we don't really have a genuine motive when we go out and we do this. And oftentimes, if you're like me, you find yourself, really kicking yourself afterwards. Like, why? Like, what did I gain out of that to see somebody's face frown? And that's not to say that there aren't times that we have to deliver a bad report. But the Rav's going to get into this. And it says that lazy individuals act wrongly when they travel away from home and do not write their relatives and family members about their well-being. Now, this is a great lesson for those who are going off to the yeshivot, those who are getting married, and you're moving away. Please, I know this firsthand, and all of you who followed this broadcast for a while, you know the impact that my son had when he gave me his report, which he had to give me at some point. He just had to give me. But it was very difficult. And I have to tell you that I would go to the post office just waiting for a letter from him from when he was off deployed. And I can't tell you how much it enlivened my spirit. This is exactly what he was saying, the Rav was saying. And it does feel like that. You feel like you're up from the grave. I think it's hardest for mothers. And sometimes I think that we struggle. Cutting the cord isn't always easy. And I would pray that those on the other end, and I know that a lot of youngsters are trying to cut the cord. They're so anxious to cut the cord. And I pray that they would have rachmanis on their parents to remember that it is very difficult. Not saying that we do struggle to cut that cord, but please have rachmanis on us. We're all struggling. We are all struggling. So it continues on. It says, the deeper their love, the more their souls languish. As people say cynically, it should come upon one's enemy that which he thinks about his loved one. They will surely have to give an account for their misdeed. In contrast, a good man will write every crossroad and send them in many different venues in order that his letters would reach his family. If not all of them, at least some of them. He should mention the well-being of the people who come from his own town, who are with him on the journey. And it's a mitzvah for anyone who comes to possess a letter to strive with his person and monetary resources to send forward and hasten it to its addressee. it shall be considered a great mitzvah, and sometimes it can be likened unto restoring someone's soul. And I can attest to that. It does feel this way. So it says there are several mitzvot that one fulfills: an act of kindness, loving your friend as yourself, and gladdening the hearts of misfortunate people, as giving life to the hearts of the dejected. And this person will receive a bracha from HaShem and men. So it's true because, HaShem just loves shalom, and he loves when people are getting along with each other. And sometimes the bad and negative, if you're someone who runs out to go and do negative, I think we've all come across someone in our life, and sometimes they're like the Debbie Downers. That's at least, in mainstream pop culture, that's what the phrase has been coined as, is Debbie Downer. And I think all of us, and perhaps ourselves at some point or another, have taken on this title of Debbie Downer, where we're running out to give this negative report. And this is what the Rav is saying. And it is a midot flaw. It's a flaw there that we have to fix. I don't know for myself, and I can only speak for myself, but I don't know if I think rationally. It's almost like it's irrational to go out and to rush, It's like for good news, I have to do this one thing and then I'll go and tell them. But for bad news, I'll drop everything and I'll tell the person the bad news. So, really something I have to work on myself. So it says, in contrast, a bad tidings should not be heard from a person's mouth. Our sages and Pesachim 3b said, one who bears an evil tiding is described by the verse in Mishlei 10:18. A person who speaks badly is a fool. Furthermore, our sages in Megillah 15a commented, when someone sends a question to his friend and finds out information or just a response, if the answer is negative, he should not reply. It is not proper to report another person's downfall. This is evidence in the story of Hatach that he did not want to deliver to Mordechai the message of Esther. If there are times when one is compelled to tell his friend some bad tidings due to some need of the hour, he should hint it in a way that an individual will understand on his own, or he should send the message with a non-Jew. Under no circumstances may he deputize another Jews, for our sages in Shabbat 31a declared, do not do to your friend that which is despised by you. And he said, if he is concerned lest the individual find out suddenly, then a man who is wise-hearted should relate the matter in a judicious way. So, again, we talked about that there are certain times where you just have to do it. And you have to do it, if it's such a nature, if it's something so devastating. Of course, we would never get someone, especially a non-Jew, anyone. But what it's being required of us is that when we're delivering the news, we have to do it in a way that, again, Rachmanis, I think that's if you were about to hear this news, how would you like to have it delivered? I think that is going to be the bottom line, right? If you have to say something, Lolenu, and it's about to devastate that person, the moment it comes, what you're about to say is going to change this person's life forever, then you have to have Rachmanis to do it. You have to send it swiftly. And if there's a chance that by hearing it from someone else, it may not come out correctly, you have to have Rachmanis, and HaShem will help you in this. Very poignant, very deep. I think this is something, again, it's incumbent upon all of us to learn this and to fix this trait in our midot. If you have this problem, I think this takes practice. This is not something that you do even once or twice and you become an expert on it. I think that it takes practice. Hopefully, we should only be the bearer of good news, and we should run. And again, my prayer, my hope for everyone is that you should never hear any bad news. May you only have simchas and joy and good tidings. And but has v'shalom, should you be in that position, I pray that HaShem would give you all the wisdom and the strength to do this in such a dignified and real menschlichkeit. I think sometimes that's what we're lacking, but that's it for today. And I hope we'll all be together again soon. Bezrat HaShem.